I'm David Wheeler, and this is my audience.
1,
2,
3.
For many of us, we've all been taught the same thing about the Earth in grade school. It's supposedly composed of the crust, the mantle, the outer core, and the inner core. But what if I told you the Earth might be hollow, or there could be some truth to this? So the History Channel actually did a YouTube video over this. So they described that in 2014, scientists discovered a body of water inside the Earth that held 3 times as much water as all the water on Earth combined. And this body of water is located 400 miles beneath the surface. For reference, the deepest that we've ever dug is 8. Now we've ran into issues digging down that deep because of heat. Equipment tends to melt and overheat and stop working improperly. And so this is pretty interesting because, I mean, in my head, if it's that hot, beneath the surface, how can water exist over 400 miles deep? That just adds more mystery to what's going on below our feet. Also, looking back to the past, there were many ancient religions that referenced a second world inside of our Earth. One of the most famous examples of this is Buddhism. There are also many older scientists that believed and showed interest in this theory. One of the most famous examples of this was Edmund Halley. Now, Edmund Halley, he's famous for discovering Halley's Comet. He also had a theory over elliptical orbit, which ended up being proven to be true, but he didn't live long enough to see this come to fruition. Now, in Edmund Halley's theory of the Earth, he theorized that the Earth was composed of multiple hollow layers. So his theory was that there would be like earth, sediment, then air, more earth, air, so on and so forth, until you make it to the center of the Earth. And also in this theory, he believed that the core of the Earth had its own north and south magnetic poles. Now this is pretty interesting because with this theory, that would mean that the Earth has over 4 magnetic poles. We currently believe that the Earth has 2. And all his theories were based on geomagnetism. And geomagnetism is the branch of geology concerned with the magnetic properties of the Earth. Also with this theory, it brings in a lot of questions about our theory of gravity and stuff because there's, hollow layers. With our theory of gravity, everything would fold in on itself and just kind of collapse. But with this, it kind of contradicts what Newton said about gravity and his laws of physics. Now, looking at a more modern and slightly crazier approach to this theory was discussed on the Joe Rogan podcast. He had his guest Sandra Poley talk, and he talked about Operation High Jump. Now, Operation High Jump was a naval expedition to Antarctica from 1946 to 1947. They had many ships, planes, and just a large group of people involved in this expedition. The most famous one was Admiral Richard Byrd. He was the one who organized this whole entire expedition. He was flying a plane in it, and he carried a journal describing his findings. And in this supposed journal, he found an opening in the surface of Antarctica that led to the inside of Earth. He flew his plane in there, and according to the story, he discovered an advanced civilization with UFOs and other kinds of crazy technology. So while all these findings may seem pretty crazy, I think if you read between the lines, there's always a little bit of truth to it, whether it's the most practical, the History Channel with the body of water, Edmund Halley's old theory to, the crazy advanced civilization that's supposed to be beneath our feet. But I think if you read between the lines, there's always just a little bit of truth to something. So, do you think the Earth is hollow? Again, David Weir, this is my audience.
1,
2.
3.